The absence or misfortune and how to collect your own experiences. This isn't going to be terribly quick. We could try and nail it for 6.5 minutes. Otherwise, we'll go for a whopping 14 minutes. We'll see what happens anyways. The absence of misfortune. There's a book that I scribbled the crap out of when I was shizzle. Those days. Those were actually pretty pro-con wise days, but we'll see about that if we talk about that more. But yeah. That book, The Art of Randomness, the end of the book, he talks about how his family, and I made a video about this a long time ago on this channel, on almost the beginning of this channel actually, about the end part of that video I cut off for a gag or a joke, but the part that he says last is the very last sentence, which is that for what has not or has yet to befallen us, and that kind of thing was very beautiful. But he talks about how his mother and her sister and her sister's boyfriend were in the Nazi camps, and how they had a plan that wasn't necessarily overcomplicated. It was a good enough plan, but it failed, and that taught them for some ironic paradox reason to not make plans. The author said he disagrees with her mother after all that tragedy. That is important to plan, but we shouldn't have those plans define us too much. And even I agree with that. So the idea is that the absence of misfortune is a blessing in disguise. When you are able to know what is missing, and you're also able to tell yourself what you could have actually been grateful for, even if it was absolutely nothing that was actually there, even if that's an attitude and way of seeing it, or a contextless way of seeing it, then yeah, you're not going to be too worried about having too many good things or too much intensity of good things that makes it feel like it shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's the paradox of that, where it's so good its intensity can't bear the goodness of it, which is good in itself, but sometimes even that kind of relaxation of meditative nothingness is good, because people, I'm not going to be that jerk who was thinking a minute ago, he was going to say, oh, you don't know what you want if you're going to tell yourself you want intensity and too much goodness and too much of this and that and this and that. You want to be too much experienced, you want to be too much imbalance, you want to be too much in chaos, too much in impulse and conflict and too much socialization. You don't know what you want. No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not that kind of person. I know that there's a reason to want those things, and even I want those things. So, of course, I'm going to want that socialization, that travel, that philosophy, all that good stuff I keep talking about fast right now. There's a reason to want those things, and desire and materialism aren't necessarily bad. It's what you do with them. But my point is that the absence of misfortune, even if your life is bored and isolated and if you're missing out like I did in that other video, and inexperienced and somewhat even miserably, not always in the worst possible way, but still learning process either way, whether that means. The absence of misfortune is still good. Now, let's go on to the next topic real quick, just for time's sake maybe. So the absence of misfortune and how to collect yourself in a timely, not in a timely manner, but how to collect yourself within yourself in an individual manner. So how to collect yourself in an individual manner. So you notice how all walks of life can still collectively have the same conclusion and universal theme for certain things without necessarily being too prejudiced or shallow, and how they're able to do that in a simple way that isn't compromising anything else, even the complex beauties of life. Because the same way some people see freedom and beauty and bliss can be either simple or complicated. It's the necessity of it being at least complex but not complicated to the way people do it. Even when people tell you people complicate things more than they should be, at least that is still a sincere way of seeing it, if not wisdom. Doesn't have to be sage. But when all walks of life can come to that conclusion, it's not that they're dismaying a problem that has to be solved in a certain way and not be misunderstood, because there are times where something isn't actually being misunderstood and we're just making it up because we want to believe that someone's being judged wrongly, and it's still a simple solution that's necessary in those moments, sadly. But to each their own. But it's like, and there are points in life where exceptions to the rule are actually more normal than we realize, and then there are actually times where people do get screwed over, and no one's using curiousness in the way I see it as justifiable and right, in my opinion. Where it's like curious evil wickedness versus curious savory heroism of, oh, this was actually a good thing to do, be curious about. So to each their own again. But that being said, there is a way to have a collective individual consciousness that collects from even any shape of size of persons, no matter how different people are, not just coming to the same conclusions for a universal theme or a common sense or some kind of humanistic main tier life lesson kind of thing. There's a way to see it the same way because people will know it the same way for a reason. And there's a certain core curriculum for humanity that comes about even if you are a different person from other people. People will always have different experiences, even if they're still relatable, unique or relatable, whatever else. But they have those experiences for their own reasons. And when they come at the same time, when they come to the same conclusions, it's not that's the only way to do it. It's not even if it's literally the only way to do it. If even that's supposed to mean something else. Because I made that other lesson thing, the alternative one I made up myself. Doing the same things is not the same being the same person. So that there you go with that sage wisdom I made up. If that even is constant sage, as per Kyle Little saying that and I thank him for this one, where he says that we don't necessarily have to really have anything be a known fact unless we can really delve into other things. Otherwise, it makes it boring anyways. To not be able to delve into the facts or the judgments that we have in this world, in this society, even if they were a guaranteed fact. But there's no curiosity with that anyway, so you might as well act like it's not solid and shut in. And it's like me in this house. Nah, sorry. I've been out in the backyard a little bit. It was nice for like half an hour. That was pretty good. So between lately, I actually cost a 10 out of 10 day instead of a 7 out of 10 day. Oh, another vlog's coming, by the way. But so yeah, for the last 20 seconds of this video, let me just preface again: the absence of misfortune is a good thing in itself, and the individual way of collecting walks of life and universal themes comes about whether you're unique or relatable, anyways.